"Pretend to be my wife," the millionaire doctor whispered. Maya froze. Was he serious? 1 week, one contract. One secret that could destroy them both. What started as a desperate deal soon turned into something neither of them expected. A love too real to fake. Now, let's go back to where it all began. The rain was still falling outside St. James Memorial Hospital, streaking down the tall glass windows like silver veins. The night shift was quiet, except for the rhythmic beeping of monitors and the soft echo of footsteps on polished floors. Maya Rivers, a tired nurse with kind eyes, tightened the strap of her faded bag. 12 hours on duty, and still her landlord's text glowed on her phone. Rent due tomorrow. Final notice, she sighed, rubbing her temples. Her mother's hospital bills were piling up, and another double shift tomorrow meant another sleepless night. Then the intercom crackled. Nurse Rivers. Please report to Dr. Adrien Cole's office." Her stomach twisted. Dr. Cole, the head neurosurgeon. Brilliant, feared, unreachable. Maya knocked softly on his door. "Come in." Inside. The office was dim. Dr. Adrien Cole stood by the window, the city lights glinting off his watch. Calm, sharp, impossibly composed, the kind of man who looked like he never made a mistake. "You wanted to see me, doctor?" He turned, studying her quietly. "I need your help, and I need it to stay between us." "What kind of help?" she asked warily. "Pretend to be my wife." Maya froze again. I'm sorry, what?" "You heard me," he said, voice steady. For 1 week, he handed her a folder stamped with the hospital's seal. The Carter Memorial Fund, his late mother's foundation, was being transferred to new leadership. The board demanded its chairman be married, an image of stability. "And you thought of me?" she asked. "Because you're the only one I can trust to be honest with me," he said softly. Silence filled the room, the kind that changes everything. "And what do I get in return?" "Your mother's surgery, fully covered. 1 week, no feelings involved." His words were cold, but behind them she sensed something broken, something lonely. That night Maya couldn't sleep. His voice echoed in her mind. "Pretend to be my wife." It was absurd, but her mother's bills were real. By morning, she stood outside the hospital again. A black car pulled up. Dr. Cole sat inside, immaculate as ever. "You came," he said quietly. "Maybe because I've run out of options." At his townhouse, all marble and silence, he handed her a contract. Rules, conditions, and one line bolded, "No personal involvement." Her hands trembled as she signed. "This feels wrong," she whispered. "It feels necessary," he replied. Sometimes those two are the same. That evening, Maya stood before a mirror in a borrowed gown. The reflection staring back wasn't a nurse, but a stranger, a woman pretending to belong. At the gala, Adrien's arm slipped through hers as cameras flashed. "Remember," he murmured. "It's only for a week." But when his hand rested gently over hers, she forgot it was all a lie. Days passed. Their performance became perfection, smiling for reporters, laughing at charity dinners, holding hands for cameras. But in the quiet of the townhouse, over coffee, over silence, the distance between them began to fade. One night, she found him by the piano. "You don't sleep much, do you?" "Brains don't rest easily," he said with a faint smile. He told her about his late mother, about her dream of a children's neurological center he'd promised to complete. For the first time, Maya saw not the cold surgeon, but the grieving son. She brushed a piano key softly. "Then it deserves to be heard again." And in that small moment, something unspoken bloomed between them, but rumors travel fast. Soon, tabloids screamed, "Fake marriage scandal at the Cole Foundation." Whispers followed her in the hospital. Reporters shouted, Dr. Cole's reputation and Maya's integrity shattered overnight. In a board meeting, rival physician Dr. Linton accused Adrien of fraud. The foundation vote was suspended. That night, Maya confronted him. "You used me to protect your image. You agreed to this," he shot back. "I agreed to help, not to be humiliated." Then quietly he said, "I made one mistake. I thought pretending would be easier than feeling." It was the first truth he'd ever told her. When evidence surfaced that Dr. Linton had fabricated the scandal, Adrien wanted to take the blame alone. But Maya refused. "The truth deserves a voice," she said. "Let's tell it. Together." The next morning, in a packed hospital auditorium, Adrien stepped to the podium. "It's true," he admitted. "Our marriage began as an arrangement, but Nurse Maya Rivers helped me save my mother's legacy. She deserves respect, not blame." From the crowd, Maya rose, voice trembling. "It started as a lie," she said, "but what I felt became real, and I won't pretend it wasn't." Gasps filled the room. Cameras flashed. Adrien looked at her, eyes soft. Then he turned back to the microphone. "The foundation will continue, but I'm stepping down. It's time to rebuild as a man, not an image." Outside, after the chaos faded, Maya said quietly, "You'll lose everything." "Maybe," he said, "but maybe I'll finally have something real." Weeks passed. Adrien resigned. Maya returned to her nursing shifts, her heart aching each time she passed his old office. Then one evening, an envelope arrived. No sender. Inside, one more conversation. If you can find the time, at his townhouse she found him surrounded by packed boxes. "You're leaving?" "Geneva," he said. "Research and teaching." "Quiet work this time." He handed her a folder. Inside, a letter appointing her director of the new Children's Neurological Center. "You earned this," he said. "You kept my mother's dream alive. You could have said goodbye," she whispered. "I tried," he smiled faintly. "But some things refused to be left behind." She looked up. "Do you ever wish none of this happened?" "No," she said softly. "Because then I wouldn't have met the man who finally stopped pretending." "Then," he murmured, "I won't say goodbye. Just until we meet again." 6 months later, the Cole Rivers Foundation opened its doors. Balloons filled the sky. Children laughed. And Maya, now director of pediatric care, cut the ribbon beneath a banner that read, "For those who still believe in hope." A small package waited on her desk that evening. Inside, their first tabloid photo, the headline erased. Beneath it typed words, no feelings involved. "That was our first lie." Tears filled her eyes. Weeks later, a message arrived: "Geneva, room 312, if you're ready to stop pretending." She smiled through her tears. "All right, doctor," she whispered. "Maybe one more chapter."